Before watching the video, don't forget to subscribe the channel and enable bell notification to never miss an update from us.
Hey everyone, welcome to our YouTube channel Entry App Banking. So today in this session we are going to discuss a previous year question paper to make you understand what kind of questions, the pattern you will see in your SPI Apprentice Exam 2020. Okay, so basically you will have 25 questions in English section. So we will discuss all of them, but in part, this is the part 1. In part 1 we will discuss some of them, and in part 2 we will discuss rest of the questions. So let's dive into the previous year question paper and get the all the aspects which are relevant for your upcoming examination. So this is Leena Rawat, your English language expert. So let's get started. And as you can see on your screen that a direction is given over here. And what is that? The direction is saying something to give you the proper instruction so that you will not face any kind of problem. So direction is saying below are given some sentences out of which the 7 numbers statement, the number 7 statement has been placed correctly. That means you do not need to make any kind of changes. This is correct. Okay, this is perfectly fine. Now we have rest of the sentences like A, B, C, D, E and F. That means we have 6 statements that needs to be arranged correctly in order to form a logical order. So this is all about parajumble sentences. I think you are aware of it. So what happens generally, especially in banking examination, you have the same question. Like this question is based on parajumble sentences. We also call it sentence rearrangement, but you will see the different pattern for your question. Like in this statement, the 7th statement is fixed. Okay, you do not need to move it, but you have 6 other statements. Sometimes you will see the different kind of question pattern. Okay, now let's begin with the question how to attempt this question. How will you attempt this question? What should be the trick? What should be the technique? Okay, I want to tell you this. See, first of all, whenever we have sentence rearrangement, we need at the first place an introductory statement. We also call it opening statement. Why do we call it opening statement, introductory statement? Because this is a passage or the paragraph which is jumbled up. Okay, and we have to make the logical order of it. Okay, so what happens that we have a proper passage which has the meaning, so it should have the introduction. Can you say something without introduce that thing? If you're talking about a person, first of all you should introduce that person, right? If you're talking about a place, you have to introduce that place. So we need the opening statement first of all, and the opening statement cannot be start with and, cannot be start with but, cannot be start with words like moreover, however, all these things. Okay, they generally do not start with any preposition like into, with, between. Okay, they do not give you any reason at first place. The introductory statement will not give you any reason and gives the additional information. Okay, when I want to add to something, okay, that this is the time I use and. Okay, this and. Why do we use but or however when we want to contradict something? Okay, let's say you're saying something and I'm not agree with you. Okay, and this is the time when I am giving a statement and that is contradictory, that means opposite to your statement. So first of all we have to find a statement, a sentence which should be a theme, which should be the headline. That means it gives you the proper theme actually. So let's go back to our sentences. First of all we have which. Do you think that you can start your sentence with which? No. So this is not the first statement. And no, I have told you that you cannot start your statement with and. But gives you the contradiction. No. Lifestyle, yes, lifestyle is the word which can be used for the first statement. Then we have to, the preposition. Then we have due to. Due to means it is giving you the reason. See, if you want to give the reason of something, you have to mention something before that. How can you give the reason if you are not talking about something else before it? Then why are you giving reason for anything? So due to cannot be acceptable as the first statement as well. Understood? So we got our first statement, that is D. Very simple. I hope it is simple and easy for you too. Now, lifestyle, social status, frame of mind. So this statement is talking about three things. First is lifestyle, then social status, and then frame of mind. All these things depend on your health. The kind of health you have, you will have that kind of lifestyle, you will have that kind of social status, and then frame of mind. All these things depend on your health. Thus, why do we use thus? When you are saying as a result of, in the context of therefore. So everybody wants a perfect physical appearance. So this is our first statement. Now generally what happens, we add something to the first statement, sometimes we contradict it. Okay, so we have two statements, B and C, where we have and but. So let's read these two sentences and try to connect it with D. B is saying, and everyone that is overweight or obese. No, we cannot use it. See, this statement is talking about maybe the lifestyle or the giving us the general idea, and suddenly all of a sudden this statement is talking about overweight or and obese. Okay, we are not talking about it. This is something else, cannot be connected with D. C saying, but every challenge comes with obstacles. Do you think that this statement is talking about any challenge or so? No. Every challenge comes with obstacles, and examples are there like lack of knowledge, resources, many other factors cannot be acceptable for the second statement. Now, E is saying to a certain extent minor weight loss. Again, it is talking about minor weight loss. See, what you need to do, you need to connect a statement with D, which should be relevant for it. We are talking about a person, all of a sudden you cannot talk about a place. No, you have to connect them. So first statement, that is A statement, is saying which may vary, means which may be different. Vary means different based on gender and age and the way people see it. It is by attaining an ideal way. Do you think we can connect it with D? Yes, we can. Now let's read the sentence again. Lifestyle, social status, frame of mind all depends on your health, the kind of health you have, the kind of lifestyle, social status you will have. Thus, everybody wants it. The physical appearance, they want the perfect physical appearance, which may vary. What can be vary? Which may vary. These things may be vary. The physical appearance and all these things vary based on gender and age. Okay, these things vary gender and according to gender and age. The way people see it, the way you see it, the way, the kind of lifestyle, the kind of health, the kind of daily routine you want, you will do things for it. So the way people see it by attaining an ideal weight. So this is the sentence when the sentence has started talking about weight. So we have to connect A with D. Understood? I hope it is understood. Now let's have the third statement. Now it is talking about weight. Now C statement is giving us the contradictory statement, and because we have already read about it, it is talking about the challenges. So in this statement we have read about the physical appearance and the health we have, all these things, and this may vary gender and according to gender and age. And C saying, but every challenge, now this is a challenge to get the perfect appearance, physical appearance. It is a challenge, and every challenge comes with obstacles. Okay, and obstacles are like, because people have lack of knowledge and some kind of resources and factors. So C should be used after A. So now we have to connect the another statement with C basically. So C is talking about lack of knowledge, resources, and many other factors, and this is talking about overweight and obese. You cannot connect it. You can read and try to connect it. You will not be able to connect them. So we have used A, we have used D, then we have E and F. Okay, we have E and F. Now read F. It is giving us the reason. Okay, and C is talking about every challenge comes with obstacle, and obstacles are the reason of lack of knowledge, resources, and many other factors. Due to the fact obesity and weight management have become enormous problem because they have lack of all these things. They have lack of so many factors. What is the impact of it? They have to face these kind of problems like obesity, weight management. So what would be the next statement? Next statement would be F. Now we have two statements, statement E and B. Just let's read these statements and you will get the answer. B is talking about overweight and obese. E is talking about to a certain extent, and seventh statement is fixed. So let's read this seventh statement. It is saying, so can weight reduction really occur without any medication, surgery, or even extensive exercise? So a question has been asked here. It is asking us that can weight reduction, can you reduce your weight without medication? If you are not taking any medicine, you are not going for any surgery, and even you are not exercising, can you get the perfect appearance? And B is talking about everyone that is overweight or obese is looking for the easy way out. They want the comfort zone, comfortable life. They want to reduce their weight, but they do not want to put efforts to lose weight by not doing any exercise, eating anything they please. So I hope you are able to understand that this statement is talking about exercising and the efforts they have to put to get the perfect size. And again, this question is asked, is it possible if they find the easy way out to get rid of it? Okay, easy way out means when you find the other option. Okay, when they find the easy way out, is it possible to get the perfect size? So obviously 7th is connected with B, and we have only one option, that is E, which should be used before F and B. F is saying due to the fact all these things. E is saying to a certain extent minor weight loss can alter one's path of life, whether it's giving life to the fullest or being overweight holding you down. So we got all our statements, and in this question you have this kind of options like which of the following is the first statement. After rearrangement you have rearranged them in the logical order, and what is the first statement? First statement is statement D. Okay, so what would you mark? You have to mark 4, which has D. This is your first statement. Understood? Now which of the following is the third statement? Third statement is C. Yeah, third statement is C, so mark C. Which is the second statement? Second statement is A, so mark 1. Which is the sixth statement? Sixth statement is which is used just before the seventh statement, which is fixed, and that is B. Second. Okay, which of the following is the fifth statement? And fifth statement was E, so you have to mark fifth number 5. Okay, so this is all about parajumble sentences. Let's have a look at the another question, and the question is based on error detection, error spotting. As you can see, these slashes are given here. A sentence is given and it is divided into 4 or 5 parts, and the detection is saying in the given following question some part of the sentence may have errors. So if you do not think that you need any kind of improvement, the sentence is perfectly fine, there is no improvement, so simply mark no improvement. Otherwise you have to tell the examiner, you have to mark where is the problem. So let's read the sentence. What has helped these centers develop? I think you are able to understand what has helped the perfect tense. These centers develop perfectly fine, no problem at all, so rapidly. Now, is the development of social infrastructure like schooling, healthcare, housing, urban transport, and the word at the last is written is tandemly. Okay, so take a moment, pause the video and try to figure out where is the problem. If not, then think about it. So what has helped these centers develop perfectly fine so rapidly? Now it is actually this is used because we have singular subject, so this is fine. What has helped, but I mean this is the thing. So we call it noun clause. Okay, we call it noun clause. If you do not know about it, I'll give you the separate video about this topic. So this is the noun clause, and noun clause here functions as subject, and because it is singular we have to use singular verb, that is this. So there is no error till now. The social infrastructure like schooling, healthcare, housing, urban transport, tandemly is the word which is actually incorrect. Tandemly means end to end. Okay, end to end, and we have to write in tandem. Now, what is the meaning of in tandem? When something is going along, okay, together. When something is happening and another thing is also happening simultaneously. So, in this context, we use tandem, and some things are happening equally, parallelly, like social infrastructures like schooling, healthcare, housing, urban transport in tandem. Let's have an example how to use in tandem. When I say Virat and Rena, talking about two persons, have worked in tandem, have worked together. It means have worked together while playing for various T20 matches. In the same way, in tandem should be used at the place of tandemly here. Understood? Now we have next question. Again from the error detection, those present were all astonished to the results of the election. So the previous question is based on vocabulary, we can say, or grammar, and this question is based on phrasal verb. I have given you the hint. Now try to find out the error. Where is the problem? Just pause the video, take a moment, take your time, and try to find out where is the problem. The problem is here with the preposition. Whenever we have startled, amazed, astonished, we have to use preposition at. This is the fixed preposition. We can call it we can call these kind of preposition phrasal verbs. Okay, and you cannot make any changes. If you make any changes, it will change the meaning, or sometimes you will not get any kind of meaning. Your phrasal verb will be incorrect. Okay, so what will you mark? You will mark a second option. Where is the problem? In B part. Okay, again we have question based on error detection. The teacher forbade the students not to stage a walkout. Okay, A, B, C, D, and no error. Where is the problem? So forbade means when you are not allowing something to someone, when you prohibit something, when you refuse to allow. Okay, when you refuse to allow, so it has the negative meaning, or we can say that it has not. So in this case, we cannot use not here. It will make your sentence superfluous. Okay, it will make your sentence superfluous. The teacher forbade the students to stage a walkout. So where is the problem? In C part, and mark 3 as your answer. Now we have some more questions. So as you can see on your screen, a statement is given with some bold words, and I have painted them in the font color red, and we have this statement. You can read this statement thoroughly, and the statement is basically saying some points, some words are in bold or in red color, and you have to find out where is the problem. This is kind of a error detection, but basically these questions are based on spelling. Okay, spelling based question, this is we call it. So among these bold words, one may be wrongly correct, or sometimes we see that this is incorrectly used with respect to the context of the passage. So where is the problem? Now let's read the statement. It is saying, while black holes themselves are invisible. Okay, while black holes themselves, emphatic and reflexive pronoun it is, and are invincible. R is used for the holes. So this is fine. They are invisible. Okay, the region around them, around the black holes, the luminous frenzy of charged particles from the matter in their vicinity is in theory visible. I think you are not able to, some of you not able to understand the meaning of this statement, so let me clear to you. The part from here to here, okay, from here to here is giving us the additional idea, the additional actual information. So the black holes themselves are invisible. Okay, this is the one thing. Black holes themselves are invisible, is in theory visible. Okay, so why do we use the region around them, the luminous frenzy of charged particles from matter in their vicinity? Actually, the problem is in this spelling, and this question is based on wrongly and correctly spelled words. So problem is here with vicinity. Vicinity means neighborhood, closeness, something which is close. So the sentence is basically talking about that actually the black holes are invisible, but there is what? There is charged particles around it. There is charged particles in their vicinity, in their nearby. Nearby there is vicinity, the neighborhood. They are actually in theory visible. So the sentence is giving us the two information. Okay. So where will you mark your answer? Fourth. Okay, the spelling, the problem is based on your spelling. Okay, next question, again the same kind of question. The so-called event horizon that enveloping the black hole is the point of the no return, and any object transgressing this boundary is lost. The so-called event horizon that enveloping. Okay, so this statement, if you read this statement, you must get the idea that it is talking about a fact. Okay, it is talking about a fact, and enveloping is written here. Whenever we have a fact, whenever we talk about general thing, we use present indefinite tense, that means V1. So just remove enveloping and we have to write envelopes here. Okay, understood. It is talking about fact. The so-called event horizon that doing what? That envelopes the black hole. It is the fact. Okay. Next question is based on filling the blanks. So you have different kind of question patterns in filling the blanks. You will see in your examination. So we will discuss some of them. Okay. So you have 5 options and 1 blank. Very simple. Okay. You have to choose one which is appropriate for the blank. Let's begin. Let's start reading the statement. Delhi is the dash example of a city. Okay, the Delhi is the dash example of a city that has neglected its environment and needs a fundamental policy change incorporating environmental preservation, all these things. And we have options like banal, quintessential, flawed, primitive, spirit. Now let me tell you the meaning of all these words if you do not know. Banal means boring. Can you say Delhi is the boring example of a city? No. Quintessential means when something is very typical, when something is the most important part. Okay, we can also call it essential. Okay, important, typical. This is the meaning of quintessential. So we can use, I think we can use this. Flawed. What is the meaning of flawed? Something is faulty, something is incorrect, you cannot use it. Delhi is the example. What kind of example? Quintessential, typical, important example. Okay, actually the exact meaning is typically, not exactly important. Okay, when we say this is the typical thing, okay, this is the typical example. Primitive, something is ancient or very old, and spirit cannot be used here. So what is the appropriate option? Second option, which has quintessential, which means typical kind. Okay, next question we have with different kind of question pattern. So read the direction. In the following question, sentence is given with a blank, okay, to be filled with an appropriate word from the given 4 options. You have 4 options and a combination of words, like you have these 4 options. not put, would fit in the blank if all the given comparison, or the combination fits perfectly, then select all the above. So what you need to do here, you have actually 4 words and 2 words will be appropriated for the blank. Other than that, what can happen, all the above, all four words can be appropriate for the blank. So we need to figure out, in implementing a policy against crime and terrorism, transnational crime and terrorism, we must nonetheless respect human rights. If someone or the government implementing a policy and which is against crime and terrorism, then obviously we have to face some consequences. They will also try to attack, no, they will also try to stop that. So in implementing a policy against transnational crime and terrorism, we must respect human rights and avoid measures that will lead to further radicalization and terrorism. So what kind of terrorism? Compel, foment, instigate, coerce. So foment and instigate are the 2 options. Okay. What kind of terrorism? Instigate or foment. It means agitate. It can mean excited. Okay. Agitate terrorism. Instigate or foment terrorism. So what would you mark? You have to mark 4, which has B and C. So this is all about part 1. We have discussed some questions. Let's meet in the second part and we will discuss rest of the questions. So I'll see you next class. Till then, keep learning and take care.